Hello everyone, welcome back to Minecraft Legacy Survival. Today we are here in version alpha 1.2, and today before I can cover the stuff in 1.2, which was a very large update for the time, I have to cover some stuff that was added in other versions. I couldn't really give them their own episodes because it would have just been too short even if I combined them together, so I'll just cover them at the beginning of this one. So first, in version 1.1.0, they Notch added the compass to Minecraft. So this always points back to the spawn of the world when you hold it in your hand. So if I move around here, you can see it wobbles just a little bit. And also added in version 1.1.1, fishing rods were added to the game. Now, at the time, they weren't functional. However, in 1.2.0, they are functional, and you can catch fish. I'll do that in just a bit. And the last major thing that was added in 1.1.1 was sneaking, which is definitely huge. You might have noticed in caves, if I was walking through them, I wasn't ever sneaking when I was placing blocks further into lava. I don't know if I ever showed any of that on camera, but sneaking is in the game now, and that is a huge change. So even though it was a huge change, it's really not enough to make a video on. So I'm just tacking it onto the beginning of this one. And without further ado, let's get into version 1.2.0. So the first thing, I mentioned that fishing was added, so let's go and catch a fish. After we defend our house from this interloper. Another thing you might notice is that the grass color has changed. Biomes were added in 1.2.0, which I don't think I mentioned it yet, but it was the Halloween update. Halloween 2010. And you might notice that I'm in 1.2.6. That's because the updates following 1.2 that still retain that 1.2, they're just bug fixes. There weren't any major content updates. So we'll just sit here and wait for a fish to come in. Waiting, waiting, and waiting. During this episode, I'll be, oh, there it went. And there the fish went way over my head. It sounded like it went back here. So you might have noticed there wasn't a bubble trail there. If you're more familiar with newer versions of Minecraft, they made it so that there's a bubble trail when you're fishing. In this, the bobber just drops under and you have to get it in time, otherwise you miss the fish. So that's fishing. I'll put this away. Just put that in here. And the fishing rod can go away as well as my hoe. Actually, I think I'm going to take my hoe out because I saw some wheat was ready to be harvested. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Another small crafting recipe that was added in 1.2 is the clock. So now when you're underground, you can see whether it's day or night, or if you're mining at night and waiting for it to be day, you can use the clock, which I'm not going to be using because it doesn't really matter whether it's night or day. So I'm going to start exploring the world here. And also I'm going to show briefly that, as you can see, the grass is it's a kind of a vivid green over here. But as I come over here, new with the biomes, the grass is a duller green. I'm going to guess that this should be a desert biome, but obviously since the terrain was already generated, it hasn't changed. So I'm going to do a little bit of exploration, and then I'm going to come back when I've found some new stuff to show you guys. I'm back, and unfortunately it's nighttime, so there's monsters around and I gotta be careful. But I found something that a Halloween update wouldn't be complete without. I found pumpkins. So I'm gonna grab these as quick as I can. Hopefully no monsters spot me. Oh, yep. Sure enough. There's a skeleton. Should be able to take him down pretty easily. Yep, no problem. Seems like it should be morning soon, so we should be safe in not too long. Ah, there's a lot of pumpkins here. That's good. Since there's no way to farm them yet, and you just find them randomly in the world, semi-rarely, you hope to find a large amount of these if you want to do any decoration with them. I won't be using a lot, but I'm sure I'll be using a jack-o'-lantern or two. Whoops. Oh, he blew up one of my pumpkins. That's okay. We still got plenty. 9. Yeah, I think that'll be a good amount. So now I'm gonna head back to the home. And you might be wondering how I'm gonna do that. I don't have any sort of markers or maps. I don't have that compass I brought with me. Well, in version, I want to say 1.1.2, but I might correct myself later if that's wrong. When you press F3, you can pull up this debug menu, and in the left there, you can see your coordinates. So I've marked down the coordinates of my home, and I'm just going to follow those back. So barring any further distractions, I will see you guys there. So I'm back at the house smelting some of this clay I found out there. I actually found quite a bit, and I have 4 more stacks up here in this chest. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'll be able to use bricks when I'm building some stuff now. And I also want to, since I'm here, I want to craft a few jack-o'-lanterns, which look exactly like pumpkins. I didn't know that. But I want to set, oh, okay, that's interesting. They only look exactly like pumpkins in the inventory. But I want to set them out here, because having jack-o'-lanterns out here looks just a little bit nicer than having some freestanding torches. And I also want to do some terraforming outside. Oh, I need my bucket too. There it is. Because as you might notice, and you might have noticed when I had found the pumpkins, I found some sugarcane out while I was exploring as well. That was added back in 1.0.10, so quite some time ago, but unfortunately I couldn't find any back at that point, so I decided not to cover it. So I just want to clear away some of this dirt here. I intend to put my sugarcane farm right along this line here, but I think that this raised area is a little too close to my house for my liking. So I am going to move it back a bit. Let's get myself a bit of water, and I'll also now have an infinite water source right next to my house, so I won't have to go down to the shore to get any. So that's helpful too. Grab that last bit. Oh, I need to kill pigs too. I'm very low on food right now. And by very low on food, I mean completely out of food. On account of the fact that, well, you might notice that I haven't fully restored my health because of that. All that exploring at nighttime takes a bit of a toll. So there we go. There's our sugarcane planted. And that is a little bit nicer. It's not quite as close to our house now. I think I like that. So I'm going to put these pumpkins away for now. Put them in the blocks chest. And then I think it's time for me to move on to the next part of this update. So I'm going to once again grab a bucket of water. Actually, before I do that, let me make sure that I have enough food, because I'm going to need a bit just to be safe. So here I am in my mining caves. I have a bucket of water, and I have my diamond pickaxe, and I'm going to get me some obsidian. Because we will need obsidian for the major feature that was added. Even if you don't know about Minecraft's history, you might have already guessed what it might be by that description alone. So let's place our water here. Let's start breaking up this obsidian. Initially, obsidian took 15 seconds to break with a diamond pickaxe instead of the 10 seconds that it is today, so this takes a little bit longer than it would now. And since I'm assuming you don't want to watch me mine obsidian for 2 minutes and we'll talk about nothing, I will cut this here, and once I have enough, I'll come back. So here I am, back on the surface, 14 obsidian and a flint and steel in hand. By now I'm sure you see where this is going. So without further ado, I'm going to build this. You guessed it, it's another portal. Version 1.2.0 added the Nether to Minecraft, so we have a whole new dimension to explore. So let's jump in. Building, building, building. Loading in, and let's see. Hopefully you have a relatively safe spawn here. Ah! Not the best I've seen, but not the worst either. So before anything else happens, I'm going to cut away here, and I'm going to build myself a nice little safe house to make sure that upon entering and leaving the nether I won't get disturbed by any ghasts or zombie pigmen. Well, it's definitely not my prettiest build, but I've built this quick and dirty shelter. It'll at least keep my portal safe and give me a safe place to teleport as I return back to the overworld. I swear ghasts were way more common than they are now. You can hear a lot of them even now. So we are going to try to safely get to some glowstone. Oh, yep. I'm already getting attacked. Right, let's see if I can get out of this area quickly. And safely. Look at them all. There's so many. I want to find a relatively enclosed space with some glowstone in it. That's the main goal here. And of course, there's a ton on the ceiling over there. There's even this one over here, but I know there's some gas floating around there, so I don't want to get attacked by them. This chunk over here might be our best bet for now. So hopefully I can stay relatively safe while I pick this stuff up. No problems yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I'm not mining this with a pickaxe and why I just showed that difference there, I'll show it again. This doesn't really mine any faster with a pickaxe than by hand at this point. So really you don't want to waste your diamond pickaxe's durability, you just break it by hand. You don't get any glowstone dust or anything either, it's just the exact same. So that's why I'm doing that. Eventually it will be faster to mine it with a pickaxe, but for now it's just the same. It's about 10 glowstone. I think I'm going to want some more than that. There's a ghast over there. Gotta be careful. Okay. Let's grab this chunk over here. And a little more cobblestone. Build ourselves a little platform here, just in case, and we're getting shot at. Oops. Woo! That was way too close. I could return these to sender, but it's not really worth it at this point. There's just too many gas that spawn. They spawn too quickly. And since gas tiers aren't in the game, there's really no point to killing them anyways. They drop gunpowder. But I can just get that from creepers if I really want some. Build up this platform just a little more. I think if I build it out here, I should be able to cover everything. Or at least just about. Oops. I mined that with a pickaxe out of reflex. I think I'm losing a little bit of this glowstone here, but I'm not too bothered. Can always come back for more. 61. Let me see. Whoops. Excuse me, sir. You might have noticed that ghasts don't have their own projectile sprites yet. They use the same ones as snowballs. Okay, it looks relatively safe over here for now. And just like in the overworld, I kind of want to keep terrain generation in the nether to a minimum. Aside from glowstone, there's not much here to explore, and we will need to come back in later versions. And unlike the overworld, I can't use the nether to travel long distances of blocks very quickly. You'll see me doing that later when I need to go far to find new terrain generation. But for now, it's not something you have to worry about. Yeah. Seems to be just a little bit more glowstone here. Oh man, that's disappointing. I figured it would be more. But it's just 4. That's a lot of ghasts, so probably not safe to come through here. Oh boy. This is not good. Hopefully I can get back in one piece. I would hate to lose everything I have on me right now. I think I can do it, I just gotta move quick. So not like that. Sorry, Pigman sir, but I need to get back. Just come through here. Oh, and one other thing to show. This is probably fairly obvious since they were only added recently, but we have zombie pigmen here, not zombified piglins. And of course, no normal piglins either. Okay, sir, I'll leave you to do that. Seemed very interested in that corner. Important pigman business, I'm sure. Guests definitely used to be way more common than they are now. There's so many of them. Very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. Let's close that. I was gonna pick up some netherrack for using in the overworld. I'll grab just a little bit more here. Get myself up to a stack. Well, maybe a little bit extra. Maybe like a stack and a half. I think a stack and a half would be a good amount. I have some plans for decoration. Won't necessarily be doing that on camera though. Which I hope is the right way to do things. I don't know. I build very slowly and I don't exactly plan it out. I just kind of build as I go. I don't think it would be the best thing to watch. And it certainly would defeat the purpose of this series in general. So, yeah, just keeping that to a minimum. And I am back with my glowstone and netherrack in tow. Just gotta head back to the house. Take my mine carts with me. And it's getting away from me. Away we go. No sheep, get off the tracks. Don't block my minecarts. Alright, rolling up to base. Ah, good, our sugarcane grew while we were gone. And I will break one more just to show that this is possible. Can of course craft sugarcane into paper. Paper into books, which you didn't need leather for yet. That was added quite a bit later. And last but not least, books into bookshelves. They don't have any use yet. They're just a decoration block, but I'm sure I'll find some use for them later. And before enchanting comes out. Put all of our stuff away. I'll put these buttons in the blocks chest. They are technically blocks, right? I intended to build a better looking nether base, but there's just too many ghasts. I can't really deal with that right now. I don't have that many arrows. I'll make ourselves some glowstone. Oh, is it? I had forgotten about this, but this might be a 9x9 crafting recipe, or 3x3 crafting recipe. Yep, it sure is. So you didn't get very much bang for your buck out of glowstone. It's a lot easier now since it's just four dust to a block instead of 9. 3. I don't think this will change for quite some time either, but it had been so long that I'd totally forgotten about it. Let's see, what would be a good place to put this? Maybe not there, since that's visible from the outside. What about here? Yeah, that might be a good spot. There we go. Glowstone. No need for the torches anymore. Although I might keep these here. Well, if I can, since this extra furnace is done smelting, I can break it. And put some glowstone down here as well. There we go. Some nice torch-free lighting. Very nice. I think that's a good place to wrap it up for today. So with that, I will see you all next time.